This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live... Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. Thank you very much for taking the time to join me. As always, it is very much appreciated. Today we're going to take a look at a horse based in the UK, ahead of the Guineas Trials this coming week at Newmarket. But before we get to that horse, I do, as always, like to mention my Patreon channel on these videos, Newman Racing. It's a bit of a mishmash of content, really. Plenty of free content on there, plenty of paid content on there as well. There's also the odd resource, like old spreadsheets, things that I think that people might have found useful that I've sort of made over the years. There's also, that's where people will find the National Hunt Racing as well, over on Patreon mainly, and it is also the place where all the yearly reviews take place as well, where I decide what horses to follow at the start of every year, get off a few average horses, that sort of thing. Just general maintenance, really, to keep the horses down. Some have to come in, others have to go out. That's just how it is, you know. So that's always, Patreon is always handy to keep up to date with that sort of thing anyway. I've tried to break it down as much as I can into collections as well, specific collections, just so to make it easier for you to get what you want when you want it. So head over there, Patreon at Newman Racing. But for now, we're going to start to take a look at Classic Watch. Where can people find the horses? Well, classicwatch26.great/site.net is where people can find this year's edition of Classic Watch. Coming together quite nicely now. Japanese horses have been added to the Southern Hemisphere horses that we already had. The site has already taken out 5 classics this year. It's actually taken out the last 3 it's tried, actually. Star and Ease won the Japanese 1,000 Guineas last week, following Oh Hope He Wins in the Australian Oaks and Green Spaces in the Derby in Australia. Drew a blank, sadly, in South Africa this year, unfortunately. But we'll hopefully be back for next season if we decide to do it with some horses to go again next year. But people will have noticed there's plenty of arenas still to come, places like USA, France, Ireland, and the UK mainly, Germany as well. So hopefully maybe this horse will get there. The Guineas in the UK 1,000 Guineas, 2,000 Guineas and 1,000 Guineas are in the first, or maybe the second Saturday of May, first or second Saturday of May. And so around a month away, but there's trials coming up. So we need to get some videos done ahead of those. One video we're going to take a look at this before the Craven Stakes at Newmarket on Thursday is this horse here, Hankelow. Very interesting horse, this. Always been quite strong on this one. Hankelow, trained by Carl Burke and owned by the executors of the late Sheikh Mohammed Obeid, who sadly died in March 2026. The horse is sired by Knight of Thunder, who out of a dam called Sagitiously, who herself was sired by Lawman. The horse itself, Hankelow, was bred by George Kent. It's due in, you see, on the 16th of April in the Craven, due to be ridden by Clifford Lee. You'll see other entries the horse has got there in the 2,000 Guineas as well. The horse has also entered in the Derby, and the horse is also entered, no, sorry, not the Derby, entered in the Dante and the Irish 2,000 Guineas. I saw the Dantes there and just assumed it was the Derby, but it isn't. So I think they're seeing this horse as more of a miler than a Derby horse, so we might have a couple of shots at it, hopefully, though. I don't know. I always thought it'd stay further than that, but they're the experts. People will take a look at the form of the horse. People will see that this horse managed to win first time out in a £13,000 Class 2 Novice Stakes at York on the 28th of June 2025, defeating Crest of Fire by 2 1/4 lengths. On that day, running to a racing post rating of 84, which is all right. 12th of September then, the horse was stepped up to listed level at Doncaster to contest the Flying Scotsman Stakes. I think that race was, yes. And he was beaten a nose that day into second place by Avicenna, the horse I think that might reoppose on the day. He ran to a mark of 100 that day, improving by 16, which I was quite happy with that. 84 up to 16 any time. Improved by 16 every run. On the 5th run, you're going to be a decent horse, aren't you? Sadly, the horse never did that. The horse only improved by 6 when he won the Group 3, beating Alzanati by a quarter of a length at Newmarket. So he's won at the course, and the race was in the Autumn Stakes, the Group 3 Autumn Stakes. Always a decent Guinness springboard, I think, that race. Even further, I think Persian King might have won the Autumn Stakes the year it won the French Guineas. I might be wrong. But yeah, Alzanati was the victim that day. Again, ridden by Clifford Lee, who has ridden the horse on all 3 of his starts. And you'll see there, a Racing Post rating of 106 was his best effort as a 2-year-old. But this horse is a Group 3 winner. He's won 2 out of his 3 starts, never finished out of the first 2, and has earned £63,722 UK pounds at this stage. Yeah, like I said, I've always liked this horse once I saw the pedigree of it. It's a very interesting horse, I do think. Hankelow, you see there on the Pedigree Online Thoroughbred database, everything all right and correct at the moment. 2 wins and a second out of 3 starts, 63,722 British pounds. Everything looking good up there as well. And you'll see there that the bit we're interested in on this site is the dam line of the horse. 11D is the dam line of Hankelow. So what we're going to do on this one is we only need really to go back and take a look at the first 3 dams of this horse, because there is a Stallion in Focus video that I've done in a different series of videos to this Classic Watch. So I can just refer you all to that, and that will give you I imagine, a very good look at the depth of this pedigree at the back. But we will get there first. We'll get to the first 3 dams first. We will look at any decent pattern quality horses that we see along the way. Then I'll add the card, and then we will watch the horse Hankelow win twice. We'll watch the horse win on debut at York, and then we'll watch the horse win at Newmarket as well in the Group 3 Autumn Stakes. So without further ado, let's get cracking, shall we? Before we get to the dam, we're already at a fairly interesting horse, Epic Poet. A gelding, born in 2019, sired by Lope de Vega out of Sagaciously. So this is a half-brother to our horse, this one here. Epic Poet raced 23 times in his career, 5 wins, 6 seconds and 4 thirds. 15 of 23 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of £794,140 UK pounds in France, Great Britain and the UAE. So also had a good career. Another one bred by George Kent, owned by White Birch Farm and Akela Thoroughbreds. At 3, the horse managed to win the listed Prix Peleas, a race held at Compiègne. That is in fact the only pattern race horse he has won, but he has got some good placed form as well. At 3, he was placed 3rd in the Group 3 Prix de Prince de l'Orange. But it was as an older horse, really, age 6 last season, 2025, that the horse really was unlucky not to get his head in front, it's fair to say. The horse was placed in 3 Group 2 races, placed 2nd in the Red Sea Turf Handicap in Saudi Arabia, and was also placed 2nd in the Yorkshire Cup, and was also placed 3rd in the Dubai Gold Cup in the UAE. And the horse was also placed in another 2 Group 3 races, placed in the Geoffrey Freer Stakes at Newbury and the Al Khalil Trophy, a race held at Meydan. Horse was first trained by Jean-Claude Rouget and then trained by David O'Meara, who trains it currently in the UK. And you have to say that it was unlucky not to win a pattern race, wasn't it, at 6? To go with its listed win, it gained at 3. A very interesting horse. Seemed to have thrived with its racing. We can now take a look at the dam, Sagaciously, a mare born in 2012, sired by Lawman out of Saga Celeb. A mare foaled out of Pentra Celeb. And the dam of her is Sagadouli. Sagaciously raced 16 times in her career, 3 wins and 3 seconds. 6 out of 16 starts in the first 2. For career earnings of £58,077 British pounds. Sagaciously raced quite well. She was actually 2nd in the listed Upavon Phyllis Stakes of 2016, a race held at Salisbury when trained by Ed Dunlop. Owned by the Sagacious lot and another one bred by Keatley Overseas Limited. Well, I say another one, another horse, but it's not bred by the same people. black type producer, as we can see, through the horses that we've just looked at. Again, though, I found that some horses related between the next two dams it's very worth taking a look at. Sagely was a mare born in 2013, sired by Frozen Power out of Saga Celeb. So this mare is a half-sister to our mare. Sagely only won 2 out of 15 starts, but she was in the first 3 in 7 of 15 starts, only managing to earn £24,046 in Great Britain. She might not have hit the tracks on the track. There's no black type for her when trained by Ed Dunlop and owned by the Sages, but what she was a superb breeder of racehorses. Perfect Power, a horse born in 2019, sired by Ardad out of Sagely. Perfect Power raced 12 times in his career, 6 wins and 1/3, 7 out of 12 starts in the first 3, or he did win half of his starts, whatever way you look at it, for career earnings of £536,299 UK pounds and €199,990. This was a Group 1 winning 2-year-old. It won the 3-year-old, sorry. It won the pre-morning of 2021, and the horse also won the Commonwealth Cup of 2022. The horse also won the Middle Park, so triple Group 1 winner at 2. The horse also won the Group 3 Greenham Stakes of 2022, and also the Norfolk Stakes, a Group 2 race held at Royal Ascot. So the horse triple Group 1, Group 2 and Group 3 winner, trained by Richard Fahy and owned by Sheikh Rashid Dalmuk Al Maktoum, bred by the Tally Ho stud. This horse is in stud itself at Dalham Hall Stud, but I think the 2-year-olds come next year for this one. But yeah, very interesting stallion on the way, if you like this line. Very good horse. And then you've got another Classic Watch 26 horse that doesn't look to being campaigned at the Guineas. Wise Approach, a colt born in 2023, sired by Memas out of Sagely. So Sagely has bred 2 Group 1 winning 2-year-olds by 2 different sires. Wise Approach has raced 6 times last season, 3 wins, a second and a third, 5 out of 6 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of £268,799 UK pounds. The horse managed to win the listed Rose Bowl Stakes at Newbury and the Group 1 Middle Park Stakes last year in 2025. The horse was also third in the pre-morning behind the filly on following of Carl Burks. The name escapes me at the moment. I'm following so many horses. And there was also second in the Norfolk Stakes behind... oh, no, that wasn't last year, was it? Norfolk Stakes as well, last year at Royal Ascot. So very similar profiles, Perfect Power and Wise Approach, which is probably why Godolphin have decided not to really, at this stage, aim this horse at any Guineas trials. It looks like it's going to be a sprinter, which is why you haven't seen it on any of my videos. But it's got a mention in this one, so well done. But yeah, a very interesting horse, Wide Approach, I do think. Won well in the Middle Park. I can't believe they're not trying to go for the Guineas. We're now at the next dam of the horse, I think, the third dam and the final dam. We're going to take a look at Saga Celebra. Saga Celebra, a mare foaled in 2004, sired by Pentra Celebra out of Saga Dooley, a 1999 foaled mare who was out of Saganika, and sired by Linamix. Saga Celebra raced 6 times in her career, finished second twice and was third once. 3 out of 6 in the first 3, for career earnings of €53,906 in Ireland and the USA. This one raced okay. It was never in any pattern race forms, but it was a maiden winner, owned by the Aga Khan and then Patrick Gallagher, and bred by SNC Lagardère Elevage. Interesting horse, though, because it's a very well-bred mare. There's another 2 leading us to where we need to get to, which is Saga Dooley, Saga Celeb, the second dam of our horse. Saga Roy, a gelding born in 2013, sired by King's Best out of Saga Dooley. So this is a half-brother to the second dam of our horse. Sagawar raced 36 times in his career, quite a lot. 10 wins, 3 seconds and 4 thirds. 17 out of 36 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of €142,890 in his career. At his best, he was a pattern race form horse, the gelding. The horse won the listed Derby du Midi of 2016, a French listed race, owned by Ecurie HDBB and bred by Christopher Mahoney. Sagatur was another gelding, born in 2016, sired by Literato. That's a blast from the past. I don't see many of them out of a dam called Sagadouli. Again, Sagatur raced 40 times in his career, 6 wins, 2 seconds and 6 thirds. 14 out of 40 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of £81,408 UK pounds raced in France and Great Britain. Again, a similar level to the last one, really. The horse was second in a Guineas trial at 3 in 2019, the listed Prix Omnium the second, and he also managed to win the listed Prix FBA, which was a French listed race the same year, trained by Rebecca Menzies. Now, I wonder if that went over the jumps. I didn't say it did, but it's exported to the Great Britain in 2020. But yeah, pattern race listed winner at its best for owner Pegas Bloodstock, another one bred by Christopher Mahoney. We can take a look at the third and final dam now, Sagadouli, a mare born in 1999, sired by Linamix out of Saganika, by Sagas out of Haglet. Sagadouli raced 6 times in her career, 1 win, 1 second and 1 third. 3 out of 6 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of €17,170 in her career. Very interesting line this is. I do like it. Sagadouli raced quite well in her career. She was 6th in the Group 3 Prix-Penelope and was 1st in the Prix-Hocotot en Orge. I'm not sure if that is a pattern race. Owned and bred by Lagardère Alaverge. Again, this horse. It's then we get to the horse I can include a card on, really, Mogul. Because if people look, Mogul, you will see, is Saganika, is the second dam of the Stallion in Focus, Mogul, as well. So all I need to do, really, is take a quick look at Mogul and insert the card where it is needed. We'll take a look at Mogul first quickly. Mogul's horse born in 2017, sired by Galileo out of Shaste, who was sired by Danehill out of Saganika. Mogul raced 15 times in his career, 5 wins, a second and 2 thirds. 8 out of 15 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of €341,988, $120,000 and 11,400,000 Hong Kong dollars. He did win the Glorious Goodwood as well. Don't know if they paid him out in euros on that day or what. But yeah, Mogul, a very interesting horse at 2. The horse was a Group 2 winner of the Group 2 Champions Juvenile Stakes of 2019. At 3, the horse won 2 Group 1 races, the Grand Prix de Paris and the Hong Kong Vase of 2020, as well as the Group 3 Gordon Stakes. He was also 3rd in the Group 2 Great Voltigeur. And at 4, the horse was placed again in another Group 1 race, placed in the Prix Gannet at Longchamp. This horse has just started his stallion career, really, it's fair to say, over the national hunts. So it's not really much to report on this stage. He has left Coolmore already after 3 crops and is now siring in Cheshire in Great Britain at a place called Willowwood Farm. So the horse is still very much available for stud, just not in Ireland, former Coolmore national hunt stallion. But yeah, people will see that this is very closely related to our horse. So all I need to do really is include a card to the Stallion in Focus Mogul video, which I can do in a second now. And then that will enable us to move on from the pedigree aspect of the video, it's fair to say, and take a look at Hankelow win 2 races. But before we do that, I do like to try and give the player a chance by cutting down on as much CPU as possible. So I will close the tabs that we no longer need. And we'll go back to the 28th of June 2025 and a Class 2 2-year-old novice stakes at York, where Hankelow made his race debut And it's safe to say that things went just as I like. So let's take a look at this race and we'll see what we think.
In the Godolphin blue, lined up, ready and running. Racing over 7 furlongs for the Al Basti Equiworld Dubai Novice Stakes. These 2-year-olds broke well with the newcomer Hankelow, one of the first away. Blue jacket commanding officer right there, and on the left going forward is Last Verse under Ushie Murphy to take the overall lead at the end of the first 250 yards. In 4th place, Crest of Fire, who just danced his way over the road crossing in the dark blue with the pink spots. They're being followed by Jedal, yellow jacket next to the royal colours of Brotherhood of Man, the black cap, one from the rear, and Shadow Brigade is the back marker as they spin off the turn and line up for home with just under half a mile to go. Last Verse has the advantage from commanding officer. On the right is Hankelow. They're followed on the left the grey Crest of Fire, who's closing in. Brotherhood of Man and Jedal tucked in behind them waiting to challenge, and Shadow Brigade on the left in the red and white is also now being asked for more as they come back down to the final quarter mile, and Last Verse has got challengers on all sides. Hankelow on the far side, commanding officer hasn't picked up between them. Last Verse is now asked for more on the stand side, and it's Hankelow and Clifford Lee who lead inside the final furlong, chased by Last Verse, Brotherhood of Man. Then further back is commanding officer. Hankelow being driven out here. He's over 2 lengths clear from Last Verse and running on Brotherhood of Man and Crest of Fire, but it's Hankelow who's made a winning debut. Crest of Fire was second, Brotherhood of Man was third, then commanding officer followed through by Last Verse, Jedal and Shadow Brigade.
Well, I thought that was a very impressive performance. It's fair to say, from Hankelow, first time out, the horse just looked straightforward, didn't it? You know, very straightforward performance, I thought that was on the day. Confidently ridden by jockey Clifford Lee, who I hope is okay. I think he had some sort of accident, didn't he? And I hope he is getting better. I'm sorry, apologies if I have got the wrong jockey. But yeah, hopefully Clifford Lee will be back in the saddle at some point if he's not already. But yeah, fantastic performance that was on debut from Hankelow, first time out, to secure that debut victory that I do like. And I thought the horse travelled into the race very well. And when push comes to shove, I thought the horse was very impressive on the day. Good performance by Hankelow. And it was onwards and upwards, I was hoping, after that. Not straight away, though. The horse was sadly beaten by a nose in the listed Flying Scotsman Stakes at Doncaster on his second start on the 12th of September 2025. But it was then, about a month or so after, on the 11th of October 2025, that the horse turned up to contest the Group 3 Autumn Stakes at Newmarket, where the horse went off. Just notice there that Group 3 at Newmarket was worth the same as the listed race at Doncaster. I mean, UK's prize money really is terrible, isn't it, at Newmarket? It should be more than that. But yeah, the horse turned up to compete as favourite, like I said, in the Group 3 Autumn Stakes, up to a mile, from 7 furlongs to a mile. So this horse already comfortably staying further than the sprinters we looked at on the line, Ardad and maybe Wise Approach, but side by Memas and Ardad. This Knight of Thunder side horse seems to be filling them with a lot more confidence, doesn't it, regarding a classic tilt. So at least a trial tilt. So let's have a look at that race now on the 11th of October 2025, the Autumn Stakes at Newmarket. Good to firm ground this time. And then after that, we will see what we think.
And ready. They're off. They race with a mile the trip here. New Zealand in the dark blue, perhaps the slowest of them to get into stride. Hankelow in yellow. Alzanati, a white cap on a blue jacket, is keen tracking him. Glacius is a little nearer the grandstand side, running well with the red sleeves. Behind those is Pathane in maroon colours. The all royal blue of best turned out winner Archer Royal. And then straight up, cross belts, 2 shades of blue, a white jacket, and the dark blue of New Zealand, the far side of him. They They are in 6th and 7th place in the early strides of this Emirates Autumn Stakes. They head down past the 5 furlong marker, and Hankelow and Clifford Lee to on the right Glacius and Billy Lochnan. Behind those maroon colours for Ashim Murphy on Pathane. A white cap for William Buick on Alzanati, who still will not settle. All royal blue colours, Robert Havlin on Archer Royal. Christophe Soumillon, one from the right, 2 shades of blue, a white cap on Straight Up. But Wayne Lorden has taken New Zealand furthest from the grandstand in the all dark blue. They are now approaching the final 2.5 furlongs. Hankelow continues to lead. Glacius is pressing in. Pathane coming with a run towards the right. Then comes Alzanati, Archer Royal towards the left, and extreme left is New Zealand. Hankelow in the yellow though to Glacius. Pathane nearest to us in the maroon now launches a challenge. Straight Up is getting going behind those, and then comes Alzanati, but they're well inside the last furlong. New Zealand in the dark blue has a chance as well. Hankelow in the yellow is game, and he has fended off every challenger. Alzanati, Glacius, New Zealand and Pathane are in line for the minor honours.
And again, very smooth, straightforward performance, it has to be said, from Hankelow there, just like on debut, although he didn't lead on that day, did he, on debut? But he found something else to make the pace for him on the day. But that was a very good performance, I thought, again, by the Carl Burke trained horse to see off Alzanati by a length and a quarter. Best Racing Post rating of 106 would give the horse plenty to find, I think, ahead of his 3-year-old campaign. But well-bred horses improve, you know. This horse has made a good, solid start to his 2-year-old campaign. First time out, Group 3 winner. Wasn't beaten in any pattern race, really, above that, apart from the listed race, second time out, which can happen. But, yeah, I like this horse. It'll be interesting to see what sort of a campaign this horse has. Oh, Clifford Lee is back riding, look. You can see there that he is one winner in the last 14 days. But I'm going to have to check now. I might have done Clifford Lee a disservice here. Let me just check. Yes, he was sadly received a neck injury on family holiday in his private time. So good to see him back in the saddle, and hopefully no long-term effects from that injury. He's certainly a massive part of the Carl Burke yard moving forward. So, Hankelow, is this horse a classic horse? Well, I hope he is, really. You know, he's one I've always liked. I didn't necessarily think he was a Guineas horse. You know, I do. Normally, my Guineas come from the Group 2s, you know, Group 1 winning 2-year-olds. You know, Middle Park winners, Dewhurst winners, Racing Post Trophy winners, races like that. Boussac winners, Lagardère winners. But this one has won the Autumn Stakes. I saw this as more of a Derby horse, you know. Hopefully this horse will run well in the trial, and that it will show connections enough and we'll get Guineas out of him as well. But it's quite concerning that I've looked at his entries and he's not in any Derbies that I can see at this stage. I'd expect him. You know, perhaps they do see him as a miler. But it will be interesting to see how the horse progresses, Hankelow. I do think that he is a nice horse. I've always thought it. And if the horse does appear in any classics, chances are you will see the horse on Classic Watch 2026. Classic Watch 26.great/site.net is where you will be able to find the horses. Right, I think I can think about leaving this video here now. Thank you very much to everybody who has taken the time to sit here with me while I make it. I hope you've all enjoyed watching it as much as I've enjoyed making it. Have we seen a good horse here in this video or what? I don't know. We could have, couldn't we? You know, it's done nothing wrong in its 2 victories, has it? You know, the horse looks very straightforward. And if people watch the Mogul Stallion on Focus video, they will see that it certainly has got the pedigree to make its mark felt. Over middle distances, I did think that. You know, I think they'll at least stay 10 furlongs. You know, but they seem to have it in only Guineas Classics at the moment. Be interesting to see how the horse progresses at the end of the season. What I will be able to do in this video, though, is give you an opportunity to look at all the Classic Watch 26 possibles that we've got so far on the playlist here on the YouTube channel. And I will also be able to give you an opportunity to subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. If you're that way inclined, you will be, if you're able to do a little bit of work with your YouTube notifications, you can set YouTube up so it notifies you every time I upload a video, so you do not miss any of my YouTube content moving forward. You know, I think that's beneficial. If you're enjoying my content, you know, you can make it sure that you do not miss any by following those instructions. But for now, I'm going to leave this video here. Thank you very much to everybody for watching it. Enjoy the rest of your week, everybody. What's coming up this week? Well, like I said, Japanese 2,000 guineas upcoming this week, and we've got Newmarket Guineas trials Wednesday and Thursday, and also Newbury Guineas trials on the Saturday, the Greenham and the Fred Darling. So more UK clap trials coming up. Very interesting time for early European horses in France as well. But for now, I will leave this video here. Take care, everybody. Look after yourselves and your loved ones. I hope to be back at some point, either on YouTube or Patreon, with another video. But for now, I will say goodbye. Take care, everybody, and I hope to be back soon.